Hello, everybody. Effect Pawn back here with another recap. We lost War 46, which is very depressing. But I think we did pretty well during the resistance phase. Um, I hadn't seen this before, actually. I don't know if it was a new thing or if it was current and I just wasn't paying attention, but it looked like they limited the fighting to just these three lanes right here. Um, I don't know if that always happens or if that was new or what, but they did that. And then, we maintained most of the Deadlands. We have a chunk of the Land of Mercy, just that right here, they kept a chunk of the Drowned Vale. We have Endless, and they still got that spot in Tempest. Over here looks pretty good. I'm happy with the West, more so than the East. So I'll probably deploy to the East here in a minute when we start with War 47. Um, I'm not going to do that in this video, though, but either today or tomorrow I will deploy myself and actually get into some combat. I just want to go over a recap of War 46. The Wardens won. Those cheeky bastards. They got us all the way down to just like this territory here. And then I think how they won was they built up the necessary towns to level 3 real quick. And they didn't actually, I don't think they actually took all of our whole territory. I think they just met the other victory conditions and sent us into resistance phase. I think the war lasted something like 360 days or something like that. So I was pretty close, thinking it's going to be about how long it was going to be, like 300, between 300 and 400 days, when it was down to these four and I was looking like he was going to lose. So, again, I'm upset that we lost, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So, most of the fighting over here was on the defensive side, and I'm pretty sure there were some offensive movements in the Western Front, but by day 200, we were running back with our tails between our legs. So I'm quite upset about that. They just pushed us all the way back. However, the Western Front actually did halt the longest because it was the last time I was playing, we were fighting in West Gate, and they had taken Owlet's Bite and most of Shackled Chasm at that point. So the West held up pretty good. I'm hoping, hopefully, this time around, we'll do a little bit better and do a lot more pushing. It looks like we're already having a base planted in Marban Hollow and are trying to get up in that shit. And we have something over here in the Bone Haft and Farinac. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But so this is the beginning of War 47 right here. War 46, like I said, we was mostly on the run. And I think the biggest issue was that it seems to me that there's a lot more experienced players on the Warden side, and so they all, like, those guys flock to that team, and it gets filled up with the more experienced players first. Now, of course, there's some vets who join the Colonial team, but I think a lot of new players are more inclined to join the Colonial team because they're new to the game, and they probably like the American British aesthetic more than the French pseudo-German look that the Wardens have. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure a lot of at least Western players are going to pick the Colonials on their first time. But once you get into the lore and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of people want to switch over to Wardens. Just for in-universe flavor, I guess. I'm still a big Collie. I'm still a fucking little green goblin. I don't care. Y'all can hate me. But I think because it was also on sale, 45% off on Steam, I think we got a lot of Christmas noobs and New Year's noobs. And they joined the Colonial team right at that start of War 46. And none of our guys really took to teaching them. Again, I don't think we use squads as well. And I for sure haven't used Discord with anybody on here yet. But I think the Warden's more organized approach definitely won them that time, especially since we had a lack of experienced players. And I think since they're more organized, they were better able to train any new players that they did have on their team. That's my theory. And if you look at the map, the replay, the time lapse of the war, now you can clearly see that we really didn't gain much ground ever. The only time we ever really tried to take swaths of land was when we were trying to regain territory that we had lost early on. Like I said, by about day 200, we were in a defensive position. They had us up against a wall, and we just kept having to backtrack. So again, hoping this time around we can prevent that. Like I said in a previous video, I am going to try to take newer players and try to guide them and teach them and see if I can get some organization and some consolidation of force so we can better attack positions. But like I said, I don't want them to be any kind of vanguard force or anything, because I feel like having new players all up in the front is a quick way to get them killed. So we'll probably do a lot of covering, guarding lodges, maybe building some defenses and stuff like that. But you definitely want to show the new guys how to play the damn game, because if they just keep going off there and wasting resources, not only do you have to pick up the slack, in a strategic sense, and that you have to shoot the guys they don't get to shoot and take the points they can't help take because they're dead, but they also waste resources, and the combination of both of those will waste time. And so if you don't have good strategy and you don't have good coordination, and the enemy team has both of those, then you're definitely going to be on the losing side. So we definitely need to get our heads out of our asses and get this turned around. I would like to see War 47 be a colonial victory. I'd be a huge fan of that. But we'll just have to see how it goes. It's like day 8 or something right now as it stands. So I'm going to try to play here in a little bit, get in there, see what's what. But in the meantime, I just wanted to go over why I think we lost and what my plans are for the next war. But also, they had a dev stream, I believe it was today. But they're apparently going to add home regions for each side. I think it was in these quadrants here, that will be able to do naval invasions. And I think that's going to be cool. That'll give you something to worry about. And they're also doing a rebalance of Tempest Island. I think they're going to put the towns closer to the shores, is what they said. And they're also going to open this up and make this more defensible. So that's going to be interesting to see that map change there, to have to adjust strategy. But I'm also interested to see how having a home region right here capable of launching naval assaults from is going to affect it. I'm excited to see it, but I'm also a little bit nervous. Like I said, we never really had a whole lot of success with naval movements, except I guess when we were retaking Fisherman's Row was a couple times, and my little shindig we did here in Titan's End. But the Wardens seem to have done really well, but I think it's because, again, they picked spots that were lightly defended. We kept trying to land at the bulwark and try to just throw as many bodies at as possible to get guys over it. And what they did was they sent partisans, scouted, saw where we didn't have a lot of defenses, and landed a landing ship instead of just putting guys on a beachhead. They actually built a landing ship for people to spawn and have easy access to resources, and they could build up their shit and work their way in. So they did it right. I'm hoping we get better at that as well. I really do not want to see the Colonials on a big old losing streak. If it goes back and forth, I'm fine with that. If we win a couple times, they win a couple times, that's cool. But I don't want to see just us lose like 3 or 4 wars in a row. That'd be super disappointing. But I don't really have a whole lot more to comment on it, really. I mean, I've been commenting on it the entire time of the war. So I think it's just because we had new players, the Wardens are more organized. I think they have more Asians. Alright, and those motherfuckers can be on here when the rest of us Westerners are asleep, and they can just go in and fuck shit up. I think they just have more of that. So that's just one of my theories. But again, the use of Discord and squads, I'm sure plays a role in that. I mean, all we really can do is just keep getting in there, try to interact with people, and try to get them coordinated, and just hope for the best. I mean, you can't force people to coordinate themselves. They have to want to do it and take that initiative and try to, see the big picture of things. And I'm sure that these new players will come to terms with that and grasp that eventually. It might not happen till War 49, but eventually these new players who just got it for the new year, they'll catch up. That's, like I said, that's really all I got to say on it so far. I think we Colonials lost about 40,000 more troops than the Wardens, but there was a good 100, 200 days where the Wardens had a higher casualty rate per hour than us. They did use tanks way more effectively, and they were very aggressive. It was a bunch of blitzkriegs, it was a bunch of naval invasions, it was constant partisan harassment. They did very, very good. It was kind of like Lexington and Concord. We were just chased all the way back to the Great March and being shot at the entire time. So kudos to the Wardens for that victory. Definitely got to give them a round of applause. But fuck you. That's really all I got to say. It was fun. I had a blast. I did not get to participate in it as much as I wanted to. And again, I'm going to try to do better about that with 447. I'll say probably as soon as I get this recorded and edited, then I'll go ahead and play a little bit. But I probably won't post that footage till tomorrow. But I could be full of shit. I could get off of here and decide to go to sleep. I may not get to play it tomorrow. We'll just have to see how it goes. But like always, I'll have timestamps and everything so everybody knows what day it is, where I'm at, how it's going. And like I said, probably going to stick with the Eastern Front over here. So, again, good job to the Wardens. Us Colonials are going to have to get her eye on the ball and get her head out of her asses and get coordinated. Thank you guys for your support. Again, I appreciate it. If you are enjoying yourselves, watch me get my ass kicked throughout these wars, go ahead and drop a like. If you want to go ahead and subscribe, that will help you out because then you can stay up to date whenever I post another video about War 47 that we're going into now. So if you're excited for that, go ahead and hit that notification tab so you can stay up to date. And as always, I highly recommend sharing with the rest of your Foxhole friends so they can stay up to date on everything as well. Again, I appreciate y'all's support. Thank you very much, and I will see y'all next time on the front line.